What's up, everyone? It's Mr.StealUrGurl here, coming at you with a StealSpeaks Opencast. Finally, after all these weeks, we have the Losers Bracket Round 5. I'm sorry it's called the Losers Bracket, but there's no way around it. And these contestants are anything but losers. So let's introduce these awesome players. We got the iconic redarrow spawning in as the red Aeon. Red is her customary color, of course. Doing an eco opener with, wow, that engineer looks like it's anticipating an anti-air tower back there. I wonder if she has, well, maybe she knows something we don't, because her opponent is NuclearPizza spawning in as the brown Aeon commander, starting out with a very, very early air factory, and then eco with his commander, and eco all day long with his engineers. Let's speed up the game just a tad bit as redarrow drops down 2 land factories, and it appears that redarrow was 100% correct that she will be facing an air opener versus NuclearPizza, as he takes a we do both to quickly scout out what redarrow is doing. He sees everything. He saw all the things, and redarrow has 2 land factories. Maybe she should have responded with an air factory, but it appears she is still going with land all day long, as NuclearPizza puts down a second air factory and is doing a very wise thing. He is helping, that engineer is helping out that air factory, and he drops down an energy generator. He has gotten only 1 energy generator on the field as bombs go off on that poor little Yenzu. redarrow researches build costs and weapon range and build time for the units. That one Yenzu survives. Oh, I spoke too soon. It bites the dust. redarrow cancels that factory as her units are slowly getting whittled away. And finally, a crash Dow gets created to help deal with this threat. And a nice split, taking out 1 unit and injuring another. redarrow, I don't know how she's going to deal with this. It appears NuclearPizza is working really hard at delivery. Ow! 2 units right there as redarrow builds a factory. Bombs going off as NuclearPizza tries... Ooh, down goes that factory. NuclearPizza is trying to deliver his victory in 30 minutes or less. That crash Dow is completely destroyed. redarrow definitely needs more to fend this off, and a single AA tower being built must be repaired. Very well done there by redarrow, as a second pass on the AA tower comes about, as NuclearPizza loses several air units, and bombs going off, bringing that down to under 1,000 hit points, as redarrow's land units shoo NuclearPizza away. He's taking very little damage, but that air force is thinning out very, very, very quickly. NuclearPizza's starting with a land factory. He's got 3 energy generators. redarrow has, it appears, 3 as well. That is going to be very helpful for the expansion. And a shield is definitely up. I think a point defense would be really helpful right now. And those units should really be placed underneath the factory shield so that does not happen. NuclearPizza is just being really, really annoying with the double air factory opener. That engineer is putting down another land factory. And it appears a tactical missile launcher was built on that factory. Is there a tactical missile launcher here? No, an AA tower. That's double AA right there. As redarrow is sucking up that delicious, that real yummy mass. I know Alpha Hex, you hate that, but get over it. And that, well, almost a 1 pass, and that AA tower is not going to live very long as the energy generator assault begins from those We Do boats. And down goes one, and next is going to be a mass extractor as well as that energy generator. And that single solitary, oh, look at this. It appears NuclearPizza's taking out the energy generator as well as trying to kill that engineer, but did not have any success there. Very awesome micro from both players right there. If you notice how NuclearPizza split his air units to take out several things instead of just one like average players would have done, and how redarrow used her engineer to heal that one engineer while it was being attacked. And I like how redarrow builds on the wrecks. That is always nice to see. And redarrow researches the shotjas, which could be highly effective with dealing with these, with a commander. And if I were redarrow, I'd have these back factories building every other land unit in Crash Dow. That's not land unit, I mean like a non-AA unit. And NuclearPizza going for mobile missile launchers quite a bit. So this could be very, very, very bad for redarrow, considering she does not have a lot of mobile, doesn't have any mobile AA. So this could hurt. And a bomb goes off, taking out several land units. Like I said, she needs to have a large number of crash dows to deal with this. At that point, oh, that point defense goes down, and she's not going to be looking too pretty right there. She's not going to be having that great of a time, and neither player really wants to expand right now. And that point defense only halfway built there. I don't know whether that was intentional or not, or whether she thinks she needs to get a second factory online ASAP. And you know what? That is not a bad idea, because Pizza has 4 land factories very close to the front, and she only had 1. So 2 land factories to the front is a great idea. Now, those air factories are going to be sapping up a lot of mass, so I don't know if redarrow is going to try and get 6 land factories to deal with the extra air. The air is just going into a very large amount. redarrow is finally expanding, and really one of those needs to be dedicated to making crash dows for real. A research station, 2 research stations there for redarrow, which actually might be very helpful. But she really should be focusing on getting more units. Not a great engagement for either side, but redarrow really needs to split her units, and unfortunately she does not. So lots of land units lost there for redarrow, whereas NuclearPizza maintains most of his, and he's putting down... Is that his 6th land factory? I don't see how redarrow is so behind on factories. It's probably because she's building so many research stations. That engineer really should be helping with the build of all these, but I think he's there to help out with this AA tower. Now, seeing what NuclearPizza's doing, he's getting energy generators, which is definitely going to be needed considering he has so many land units. He's probably going to be bottlenecking on power very quickly there. And a horrible timing there for that point defense being built. And redarrow is definitely on the back foot here as bombs go off right on that commander, taking out a half of her health as the units, and boom, down goes redarrow. I believe that was a control K because she knew it was going to happen in just a matter of passes. So NuclearPizza definitely delivered within less than 15 minutes, as you can see on that timer down there. It's 14:49. So he definitely gets a very large tip. While moving on to round 6, you did very, very well there, Red Arrow, against NuclearPizza. NuclearPizza almost always guarantees a victory in 30 minutes or less, as you have seen here today. He did awesome with an air opener on even such a small map, because that was almost a risky thing, but you know what? There is a very, very long walking distance there for the land units there, right there in the middle, because that becomes almost no man's land once a large number of air units come out to play. So awesome job there, Red Arrow. Thank you very much for playing. You did awesome against probably one of the best players of Supreme Commander 2 history. And NuclearPizza, you were amazing as always, so thank you very much for playing. And thank you, the viewer, for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and share with your friends, family members, and enemies, because they need something interesting to watch as well. As always, everyone, GG.